and welcome to today's episode of LinkedIn with Louise. And today I want to talk to you about something that I get asked about quite often, and that is, what should your daily activity be on LinkedIn? And before I go any further, actually, this is part of the free guide that I give people. And if you haven't got a copy yet, go and grab your copy and go to louisebrogan.com/download. And it is the daily and weekly activities to do on LinkedIn to help you grow your business. It's a completely free guide and it's quite popular. So you're very welcome to grab your copy of that. So we're not going to talk about the weekly activities today, but we are going to talk about the daily activities for LinkedIn. If you are a listener of the podcast, welcome back. If you're a new listener, I'm very happy to have you here. And if you'd like to subscribe, then you won't miss any future episodes of the podcast. I do solo episodes and I mix in some guest episodes as well. I've got some really interesting guests to round off 2020. Actually, I think you'll really enjoy hearing from them. But let's get stuck into today. What is your daily activity for LinkedIn? So LinkedIn is the B2B network, and what I love about it is that you don't have to be spending lots and lots of time on LinkedIn in order to make an impact. In fact, you don't even need to be posting every day on LinkedIn to make a massive impact. If I just pull up my own stats while we're on this call, well, we're not on a call, but you know what I mean, while I'm recording the podcast. If I look at my posts and activity and look at recent posts, so this week, as an example, in the last 7 days, I have uploaded a document today, which has had 543 views in my feed. 2 days ago, I did my usual Friday LinkedIn Live, and that didn't have as many views. So it's interesting. It's so interesting, the different. It had 15 comments, only 66 views. And then before that, I shared my speaker reel video that I got from VidSummit. And apart from that, in the whole week, I had a poll that I ran, which has 1,274 views in the feed. And I had uploaded a video at the start of the week talking about my Power Up Your LinkedIn workshop, which if you missed, you can still get your copy of. Just go to louisebrogan.com/workshop and you can get all 3 1-hour training sessions plus the workbook that accompanies it with, and get your LinkedIn powered up to round off 2020. So yeah, that's the content I've posted in a week. And people ask me all the time, well, how much time do you spend on LinkedIn, Louise? You must be on there all the time. And I genuinely am not on there all that much. I remember when I used to do social media management for people for Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and I would have spend far more time on those platforms. And I would have been sharing for Instagram daily posts. For Facebook, I remember working with the She Means Business team at Facebook, and they recommended you didn't post more than 3 times a week on your Facebook page. And Twitter, you really would be tweeting several times a day. But LinkedIn, what's so good about it is if you put a really good post up and people start to engage on it or with it, you'll be getting comments on it 7 days later. So it's one of the things I really enjoy about LinkedIn is the engagement and interactivity on your posts. And actually, you shouldn't post every day. So if we look at a case in point, I did a post about my website changing over. And I talked about the LinkedIn company page. That post is 7 days old. It's had 1,709 views, 35 comments and 59 engagements. And people were still commenting on it yesterday. So one of the little tips I want to give you about your LinkedIn posts are, someone was posting on it yesterday as well. So 6 days after that was being posted, I was still getting fresh comments and fresh eyes on it. So I think that just really shows the difference between LinkedIn and the other social media platforms. So what should you do on a day-to-day basis if I'm saying to you, you don't need to be posting every day? And I don't think that you should. I think 2 really great posts a week are plenty for LinkedIn. The caveat is that you've got to understand what makes a great post for LinkedIn. And I have some wonderful colleagues and online business friends, and I see them putting up their 1 or 2 posts a week on LinkedIn, and they're not getting any response at all, or they might be getting 4 or 5 reactions with the little blue thumbs up, but nobody's actually leaving comments or asking questions or engaging. So there's a very specific way to write your LinkedIn post that I teach people. If you want to know more about that, just give me a shout. But basically, you want to write it in a way that starts a conversation. You're not broadcasting to your audience. You are having a conversation with them and building relationships with them. And when you switch your mindset around to that way of thinking, it's going to help you so much better with your LinkedIn activity. So what do you do on a day-to-day basis on LinkedIn, and how long does it take? Honestly, I would say 15, 20 minutes a day is plenty of time to really build your presence on LinkedIn. 40% of LinkedIn users check in on LinkedIn every single day. But remember, only 1% of people using LinkedIn are posting any content. So can you see a little bit of an opportunity there? 40% looking on the platform, only 1% posting. Let's get eyes on your content. So when you show up on LinkedIn each day, you can start to build up your profile and your network and help yourself grow in business. Okay, 5 things to do every day on LinkedIn. First of all, when you log into LinkedIn, check your notifications. So who has looked at your posts? Who has commented on your posts? What other notifications are LinkedIn giving you? And you will have suggested posts that will tell you, oh, your new connection has just posted, or a page you're following has just posted, or a hashtag you're following has a trending post. So just scroll down through those notifications and make sure you're not missing out on any opportunity to engage with your network. So for example, I had one today. It said, respond as linking in with Louise, which is my LinkedIn page, company page, on this trending post in LinkedIn training. And so I did. And it was actually one of my network. It was his post and I commented on it. And as a result, more people are checking out my profile. Remember, you want to get the basics right in LinkedIn before you start putting all these other strategies into play. So you must get your LinkedIn profile optimized. If you would like help with that, that is a service that I offer. It's the LinkedIn Profile Review. Go to louisebrogan.com/work with me and you can find out more information about that. But having a strong profile makes all the difference, because when you are engaging with your network, people check out your headline and decide whether or not they want to click on you and find out more about you. And when they click on your name, you want your profile to stand out on LinkedIn and for people to read it and want to connect with you or reach out to you as a result. So check your notifications. If someone has commented on one of your posts, make sure you reply to them. Tag them in that reply by writing @. So if it's, I've written a post, my friend Rebecca has commented on it, I will reply to her comment and say thanks, and then @Rebecca, blah, 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 blah. So make sure that they know that you are responding to them. Then you're going to show up in their notifications. So check who's commenting on your posts. Make sure you leave comments. Look at posts that are being suggested to you by LinkedIn. And that shouldn't take you too long. That shouldn't take you too long at all. Just to really, it's a little bit of etiquette for how to behave with your network and their comments and what's being suggested to you. All right, the second thing is check the LinkedIn News Daily Rundown. If you don't know what that means, when you click on the home screen on the right-hand side, this is on your desktop, it says LinkedIn News at the top on the right-hand side, and it will be suggesting stories for you. Just have a look through it and see if there's anything there that relates to what you do and what your interests are. So right now, one of my LinkedIn News top posts, what they've put it at the top is something about alcohol-free Guinness. My network's not really interested in that, although Guinness is from Dublin and, you know, my audience might get a bit of a kick out of talking about Guinness. But I tend not to post about stuff that's not really related to things in business, to be quite honest. So the other stuff it's asking me to comment about, say, American elections, the economic rebound, job vacancies, and Disney Plus streaming. So I would just scroll through those. If there's something there of interest, you don't have to share those. So if you click on one of those stories, you don't have to share that into your news feed, although it is an idea of something that people are already talking about. But you can scroll down and it'll have the editor's picks, and the editors will have picked out posts that relate to that story, and you can comment on those. And those are generally posts that are having a lot of interaction. So if it's, someone's posted something, you think it's interesting, you leave a comment and just look and see who else is commenting. And does anybody jump out at you who might be somebody that you want to have in your network on LinkedIn? So that is the second thing, that is checking out the LinkedIn news daily rundown. Okay, the third thing is building your network. So finding new people to connect with. These could be people who've commented on your stuff. They could be people who are commenting on your network's posts. So for example, Glenda Shawley is one of my clients, and she has a brilliant network because her business is about fabulous networking. So quite often I will see Glenda's activity on LinkedIn because I comment on her posts. So LinkedIn shows me her activity as a priority over other people who maybe aren't posting, or who aren't posting something that I'm interested in commenting on. So I tend to see what Glenda's up to on LinkedIn, and the people that she comments on and networks with are people who would fit the whole, are they potential clients, potential customers, potential collaborators, or people who say things that I'm interested in, which is really my 4 points. Do I want to connect with this person or not? I kind of go over those. Would they want my service? Would they be someone who has a similar audience to me? Or are they literally just someone who's sharing content that I'm interested in? So, and then connect with those new people. And remember, always add your personalized invitation to connect with the person, because that starts your conversation with them. I'm building my YouTube channel at the minute. I know we're on a podcast and you're probably in the car or out walking or something, but do go and check out the YouTube channel, because these are little short videos that I am showing. For example, how to personalize your invitation and why is one of the ones that I uploaded last week. So they're like 2-3 minute long short videos, how to use LinkedIn. Go and check it out. So I'm going to be more consistent with putting up short training videos on there. It's youtube.com/C/social BNI, or just go to YouTube and type in Louise Brogan LinkedIn, and you'll see it, and subscribe, and then you'll not miss any of the videos that I'm uploading. So so connecting with new people, sending your invitations, starting conversations with those people on a one-to-one. Number 4, run through the news feed and see if there's anybody who has shared a post that you think is interesting, that you can comment on, or something that you think the person is saying something of value. There's a lot of posting on LinkedIn that is storytelling that doesn't really relate to anything to do with business or that person's skills or expertise. And to a point, some of those are great, and some of them are just literally filling up big long posts so that their friends will all comment on them to give them more visibility. That's not really the kind of content I want to follow on LinkedIn. And actually, when I see that too much, I generally tend to unfollow those people, so they stay in my network, but I'm not seeing their posts. I'm more interested in posts that are starting conversations about topics I'm interested in, maybe current affairs, because I think I've said this in the podcast before, I love reading the papers at the weekend. So I love reading news stories and find out what's going on in the world, absolutely. And so I like that kind of content, as well as content that I'm learning from. So at the moment, because I'm building my YouTube channel, I've lots of video people in my network on LinkedIn, and I'm really interested in what they're saying and the value and tips that they're sharing, because that's something I'm really interested in learning about. So I could read that stuff and then just click the like button, but that's not going to get me any visibility. So the best thing to do is to leave a comment on those posts and just, say what you liked about the post, or ask a question, even better, because then you get into a conversation with the person who